Wyoming Governor Matt Mead joins us now by webcam from Cheyenne. Governor Mead, welcome to Bloomberg's Bottom Line. A pleasure to have you on.
Good morning, Mark. I'm glad to be on, and thank you for your attention on Wyoming and the good job we're doing here regarding our budget.
Well, sir, S&P credit analyst David Hitchcock released his statement, and it read in part, quoting here, "We base the upgrade on what we see as strong institutional budget procedures and performance." You did inherit a budget surplus from your predecessor, Dave Fruenthal, who was a Democrat. Is this a question of the state wasn't broke, so don't break it?
Well, it's partly that. I think Governor Freudenthal and the legislature has done a good job for a number of years. And of course, by our state constitution, we're required to balance our budget. And we do that. But we are extra fiscally conservative, making sure that we have savings in place for when those rainy days come, that we have money to meet the needs of our citizens. And we have great, obviously, natural resources, tourism, agriculture. All great contributors to Wyoming, but that's what we get in, and on the other side, we make sure we don't spend it all.
Governor Mead, Wyoming doesn't issue much debt. Does the rating upgrade then really have much of an impact?
Well, I think that as a practical matter, because we don't have much debt. As a matter of fact, I think we probably have the lowest debt per capita in the country. The fact of the matter is, the reason it's good is for those companies that are here in Wyoming, or those companies that are looking to move to Wyoming, you know, they're pretty confident that when they come to Wyoming and they get going, they're not going to face a big tax increase, because we are fiscally sound and we continue to be fiscally sound, and we're not looking for companies to come here and then tax them out of our state. And so I think it is a good message for people looking for a place to relocate, that Wyoming is going to remain fiscally sound, and we are very conservative when it comes to our taxes.
And Governor, I was going to ask, because that segues nicely into my next question. You told my colleague Scarlett Fu back in March, you noted that Wyoming has no state income tax and no corporate income tax. You think those are the main reasons why the unemployment rate's just above 6%, and as you mentioned, businesses are considering moving to your state?
I certainly think that is part of it. I mean, to me, that is a great draw when you can say you have no corporate tax and you have no personal income tax. Your state is otherwise financially sound. Your state has grown roughly 10% in the last decade. Unemployment, as you said, is low. All of those things are good news stories for companies that want to look for a place where they can be secure and know that they're going to have a state that recognizes the importance of being fiscally sound. And our duty in Wyoming is certainly to do the best we can for Wyoming citizens. But on top of that, we hope we are setting an example for Congress and for the rest of the country that when you can be fiscally sound, a lot of good things can happen.
Governor, then what do lawmakers on Capitol Hill need to do? Is it just a question of cutting spending? Should tax hikes be part of the equation as well?
You know, I, of course, don't follow it as closely as our great congressional delegation, but to me, there absolutely has to be a couple of things. One is we have to make sure that as we continue to see the rising deficit, I think there's absolutely got to be cuts. And as our former Senator Simpson advises, you know, everything should be on the table when it comes to this, because it's a big enough issue in terms of our country's security and where we can go, that there shouldn't be any sacred cows. And those are tough things when people start talking about, well, you don't want to cut this or you don't want to cut that. The fact is, for those people, lawmakers in Congress, I think they certainly have a tough job, but some very tough choices need to be made. Otherwise, it's going to be made for us.
Governor, Wyoming relies heavily on minerals and natural resources. What are your plans to diversify the state's economy? How are you going to attract other industries to the state?
Well, partly we're going to attract them because we are fiscally sound. But on top of that, you know, one of the things that I think Wyoming has a great opportunity to build upon is our technology. We're just getting a supercomputer built here in Wyoming. We are a great place for technology because in terms of data centers, for example, you know, we have low cooling costs, both because we have a low cost electricity and we are a relatively cool state. We are geographically safe compared to other places in the country. We have a great workforce, and so we're really pushing technology to build in Wyoming, and we're inviting technology companies to consider Wyoming as a headquarters.
Governor, we have about 30 seconds left. You've expressed concerns about delays in getting drilling permits from the federal government. What's that situation like now, and do those delays threaten your economy?
Well, they're not at the point where they threaten our economy, but they are at a point where we're not doing as well as we could. These permitting delays not only hurt Wyoming, they hurt the country, because as we look at fuel prices continue to go up, and we know we have the resources here and we could build on those resources, it's just not good business. And so we continue to press the Department of Interior and the administration at all times to say, hey, we need to develop this energy. It's good for Wyoming. It's good for the country.
Governor Matt Mead of the great state of Wyoming joining us via webcam from Cheyenne. Governor, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.